Alright, with my lexer done, it is now time to write my parser. So the lexer is able to chop up source code into individual tokens, which is great, but it's not really too useful in expressing higher level structures, such as arithmetic expressions. I'm going to have to convert these tokens into something that better reflects the structure of the supplied code. This can be done through the construction of an abstract syntax tree, so the header that I'm writing right now actually contains the structures for the nodes that make up this tree. Something you'll notice is that each structure has an AST struct as the first field, so this is to mimic inheritance. Basically, any instance of any of these structures can be cast to an AST node struct, thus allowing them to share a common base structure. Alright, so working on the parser, you'll start to notice that the structure of the parser actually resembles the grammar of the language. With this expression parsing code, operators with a higher level of precedence are parsed before operators with a lower level of precedent. Each function I'm writing is responsible for parsing one or more operators that share the same level of precedence. These functions all call upon each other, working their way down until they encounter a terminal symbol. A terminal symbol is simply a node in the AST that has no children. An example would be a constant or a variable name. writing code to parse expressions nested in parentheses, I noticed that I don't have a way to report errors. To alleviate this, I'm going to add a custom error number field to my parser state and use that to return error information to the caller. If a function in my parser returns null, that'll be indicative of an error, and the caller will have to wind all the way back. So I need to make sure that I'm checking null references everywhere in the parser. Man, I really wish C had exceptions.
Memories, your attachments. They burn them all away. But they're not punishing you, he said. They're freeing your soul. If you're frightened of dying and you're holding on, you see devils tearing your life away. But if you've made your peace, then the devils are really angels, freeing you from the earth. So don't worry, okay?
Alright, so I just wrote some quick and dirty code to load code in from a file. As you can see based on the right-hand terminal window, the parser is doing great at parsing expressions. On the middle right-hand side window, you'll see a poorly visualized representation of the abstract syntax tree. Now all we need to do is add some statements, like if statements, while statements, function declarations, and a few more things, and then we'll be ready to actually start working on the emit phase.
The only thing that burns in hell is the part of you that won't let go of your life. Your memories, your attachments. They burn them all away. But they're not punishing you, he said. They're freeing your soul. If you're frightened of dying and you're holding on, you'll see devils tearing your life away. But if you've made your peace, then the devils are really angels, freeing you from the earth. It's just a matter of how you look at it, that's all. So don't worry, okay?
Alright, so I think I have a decent amount of grammar implemented in the parser right now. This is not anywhere near the entire grammar for the language that I'm developing right now, but I think I have a decent amount done and enough to write some basic programs with. Being able to see the fruits of your labor I think is very important to stay motivated with a hobby project. So with that said, I'm going to move on to the next phase for now so I can get Hello World running.